Don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. Tap the notification bell and be the first to know when we drop a new video. Like and share with your fellow American patriots who love this country. And if you haven't even an American patriot, you're someone who believe and love freedom, love democracy, truth, and don't like corruption, hit the subscription button.
Breaking news, the Republican-controlled House Rules Committee has just voted to block the release of the Epstein files. Joining us now, the member of Congress who forced that vote, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California. Congressman Khanna, give us the latest situation with the House Rules Committee.
Well, it's very disappointing. I had a very simple amendment that the full Epstein files should be released. It went for a vote to the House Rules Committee. Jim McGovern, who is the ranking member for House Democrats, made sure that all 4 Democrats voted for the release. Ralph Norman, a Republican, actually joined with the Democrats, saying that there should be a vote on the full release. Chip Roy didn't show up for the vote, but 7 other Republicans blocked it. So as of now, there is going to be no vote tomorrow, up or down vote on whether the Epstein files should be released.
And this was the first stage of your attempt to get a full vote by the House of Representatives, to see a full recorded vote. Everyone could see how their member of Congress voted on this issue, and that's what was blocked by the Rules Committee, not allowing you to get to that stage on the floor. Why would it be important to have that recorded vote on the floor?
Well, in a very simple way, we should see whose side are you on. That's really what this Epstein file issue has become. It's not just about knowing who's being protected, the rich and the powerful, in terms of who had interaction with Jeffrey Epstein. It's the sense that people have that the government is too beholden to certain interests who have their thumb on the scale, and that they're not working for ordinary people. And what the Democrats are saying is, we want to make sure that we get full justice here, that we get full transparency. And this may have been the first attempt that was blocked, but I'll tell you, it's not going to be the last attempt. We already have Representative Vesey, who has a resolution. Leader Jeffries is saying that we're going to push for transparency here, and we can keep introducing these kind of amendments every week, every month, to force the Republicans to demand the release. And this is something that many Republicans believe should happen, as was evidenced by Ralph Norman's vote.
The Elon Musk commentary on this situation continues. Elon Musk posted this after Donald Trump's long Jeffrey Epstein social media postings. Elon Musk said, seriously, he said Epstein half a dozen times while telling everyone to stop talking about Epstein. Just release the files as promised. Congressman, are you concerned about a possible precedent here that down the line, a few years from now, we could be talking about the release of some other federal criminal investigative file that you might think should not be released? Or is this a unique case? This is, after all, in the entire history of this country, we have exactly one president who had a convicted pedophile as a best friend.
Lawrence, look, I think you raise a very thoughtful point, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, there's a reason you have DOJ policy saying you can't leak things about people before you charge them. You would not want a Justice Department that just arbitrarily started leaking things about people caught up in an investigation. But here you have a very unique situation. You have a President of the United States who promised the American people the release of these files. You have an Attorney General who went on television and said that on her desk is a Epstein client list and that she's going to promise to release that to the American public. So now you have a question of trust. And I think what the president should do is say this is a unique circumstance that potentially involves governments of other countries, that involves potentially national security, and for a one-time issue, we're going to release it to have total transparency. We're going to protect the victims, but we're going to release it, and this is not precedent setting. It's simply doing what I and the Attorney General promised the American people. And if they don't do that, they have a huge issue.
Congressman Ro Khanna, thank you very much for joining us with your own breaking news report of what was happening in the House tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now that you've heard it for yourself, the Republicans, they all, band together, voted against releasing this document, the files of Jeffrey Epstein, because there's no such thing as an honest liar, conman, or scammer. And here's why you must remember that. Let us begin with the undeniable truth. There is no such thing as an honest liar, conman, or scammer. Those who make a career, a habit, or even a single choice to deceive others for their own benefit have already forfeited their credibility and integrity. A liar does not become virtuous simply because they sometimes tell the truth. Even the most effective deceiver need a sprinkle just enough truth into their stories to make them believable. But at their core, they are still liars, still manipulators, still betrayers of trust. This lesson is not only timeless, but crucial to understanding the state of modern American politics, particularly when it comes to the hypocrisy and full display within the Republican Party. The Republican myth of moral superiority. For decades, Republicans have sold themselves to American public as the righteous guardians of family values, faith, morality, and integrity. They have labeled the Democrats with derogatory names like Democrats, accusing them of promoting policies from the pits of hell, such as gender fluidity, transgender rights, and reimagining traditional definition of sex and family. To be clear, some democratic positions are indeed difficult to understand or accept for many, and debate about them is healthy and necessary in a free society. But the hypocrisy of Republican lies in how they present themselves as morally perfect while being fully willing to embrace lies, deception, and scandal when it serves their agenda. The case of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Take the chilling example of Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier who amassed an unimaginable wealth and influence while exploiting, abusing, and trafficking underage girls for the pleasure of powerful men. Epstein died in prison under highly suspicious circumstances, officially ruled a suicide, though many suspected murder to cover up what he knew. There's 2 minutes missing from the video. You don't see who went in the cell and who left after he was found dead. During his campaign and presidency, Donald Trump, a close acquaintance of Epstein, promised the American people transparency. He explicitly said he would release all documents related to Epstein to expose everyone involved, and told them, the people, that he's going to hold them accountable. Remember that Joseph Epstein was killed or committed suicide when Donald Trump was president. But now, years later, with leaked information surfacing, guess whose name reportedly appeared in Epstein files? That's right, Donald J. Trump, the President of America. And his name is all over the file as the #1 beneficiary of Epstein Flight Lolita. Suddenly those documents hasn't been released. Suddenly Republicans, the self-proclaimed champions of moral righteousness, have voted to block the release of those files. Suddenly the truth they claim to seek have become inconvenient. Hypocrisy at its finest. How can a party that claims to defend family values shield the names of men accused of exploiting young girls? Come on. How can a man who campaigned as an outsider, a truth teller, and a drain of the swamp become so desperate to protect himself and his allies from exposure? This is not simple hypocrisy, it's betrayal. It's the same old con, the same old scam. Lie to the people, manipulate their fear, and when caught, spin the story, change the subject, and hope no one notices. The deeper lesson here, whatever citizens need to understand, a liar is a liar, even if they tell you something you want to hear. A scammer is a scammer, even if they wear suits and speak at a pulpit. A conman is a conman, even if he is sitting behind the resolute desks in the Oval Office. If a man lies to you once and you forgive him without repentance, he lie again. If he betrays its own professed values in the dark while pretending to uphold them in the light, it is not a party of integrity. It is a cartel of opportunists. Why this matter? You, the American people, deserve honesty from your leaders. You deserve leaders who tell the truth, not just when it benefits them, but when it costs them. The idea that power excuses lies is what erodes democracy and builds dictatorships. When Republicans blocked the release of Epstein files, they told the country without words that protecting their own matter more than protecting victims, more than telling the truth, and more than keeping their promise. Don't let anyone, Republican or Democrats, convince you you can trust a liar. Don't believe the fairy tale that a conman can represent your values while hiding his sins. And don't accept excuse that the other side worse, because corruption on the other side is a poison to the entire system. It's time to hold everyone accountable, especially those who wave the loudest flag of morality while secretly betraying it. There's no such thing as an honest liar, conman, or scammer, and it's long past time we stop pretending otherwise. The lesson is simple, yet profound. Trust is the cornerstone of any healthy society, and liars, conmen, and scammers have no place among them who claim to lead with integrity. The Republican Party, decades long pretense of moral superiority, has been shattered by its own actions by blocking the release of Jeffrey Epstein files that could expose predators and deliver justice to victims. They reveal their hypocrisy and their willingness to sacrifice truth and decency for self-preservation. Remember that these are the same people who embraced Donald Trump after he tried to overthrow the American government. The same government that he's in charge of now. But it goes to show you that decency doesn't exist among these people. If we as a people continue to tolerate such duplicity, we only invite more deception and more betrayal. A liar who wraps himself in a flag is still a liar. A conman who quotes scriptures is still a conman. A scammer who shakes your hands is still a scammer. It's time for Americans, regardless of party, to demand accountability, to reject false prophets of morality, and to insist that those who govern us live up to the standard they claim to uphold. Because in the end, the truth is this: there is no such thing as an honest liar, no such thing as a righteous conman, no such thing as a trustworthy scammer. And the sooner we remember that those who are liars, we can begin to rebuild a politics, a nation worthy of our faith. Will we ever to get a honest government? I doubt it. And I say it with any reservation. Have yourself a beautiful day. Peace.